This week marks the reopening of the Habitat for Humanity Niagara store in Grimsby. Joining us now, the CEO from Habitat Niagara, Mark Carl. Mark, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Some big news, finally able to reopen the store under the new guidelines. Can you tell us what's happening? What are some of the changes put in place?
It's been a difficult time, like for everyone. It's been challenging for us as well too. We've been closed. All our operations have been closed since March 17th. So we've worked very hard. We have opening up our Grimsby store starting on Tuesday at 11 a.m. and we'll have adjusted hours from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. Our plan from there, we're renovating the St. Catharines store. We're changing stuff around to make more distance for social distancing. So our plan is Grimsby, June 2nd, middle of June, we'll open up St. Catharines, and then end of June, we'll open up Fawn Hill. And as we go through. So some of the things we put in place, wider hallways, more of a spot for people that can be, they can social distance. We have the fronts are going to be open. So when customers are coming and going, they can keep their distance from each other. We'll have hand washing stations where everything that gets, for the shopper's experience, we'll have all the distancing and working plexiglass for our staff. Our staff will be wearing masks. Constant washing hands, all the protocols that you see in, we want to make it a safe shopping environment for our customers. Any donations that come in, we're going to hold them for 48 hours. They're going to be wiped down. The store is constantly going to be wiped down as well too. So we put a lot of protocols and a lot of procedures in place for the safety of our staff, customers, and volunteers as well.
Stores will be open Tuesday through Saturday. And what about drop-offs? Is it the same time period for the drop-offs?
Basically 12 till 4 to start. We're going to see how that goes at the beginning, but 12 to 4. That'll get us time to get it all in. We have to separate all the drop-offs, and we have to tag it when it came in so we know when it's safe to put it on the floor and wash it down and clean it down. So yeah, 12 to 4, but I mean, those are going to be adjusted as time kind of moves on and see how the whole process goes. We started with our Grimsby store because it's the biggest store. Footprint wise, it's the widest and largest store we have. So we want to see how the process and the protocols and the procedures go there. And then what works, we're going to bring to St. Catharines and Fawn Hill, being Fawn Hill our smallest, and what we need to improve on, we're going to be able to bring to those stores as well.
Mark, are your crews able to go out and dismantle kitchens at this point in time?
Not at this point in time. We're unsure. We're going to work through some processes and protocols at that time. So we're looking at how we can make that safe for the individuals, because we have to come into somebody's home to do that. And, people are going to have to accept our staff and into the homes, and also our staff have to feel safe to be able to go into people's homes. So.
Pre-COVID-19, Habitat had a build in Port Colborne. What's the status of that build?
So the build was, we made sure the windows were on it, and it was sealed up, and it was stopped. So we were working with the community on that build. We were working with the Indigenous youth on that program. We were doing a training program where they were learning construction sites. So we stopped that. We were looking about mid-June to start that back up. Obviously, we won't be able to have big days, like the Habitat kind of days where you see everyone's got a t-shirt on and everyone's out enjoying the day, helping us build. But we are going to work with our Indigenous youth and our construction staff. We do want to see that house built. We have commitments to families for affordable housing, and we have commitments to Niagara to continue to build affordable housing. So we're looking to finish that house. It takes about 9 weeks. So take us into the summer, and then we're certainly hoping to start another house again in the fall. And we'll need the community support for that. We'll need fundraising dollars. These houses just don't pop up for free. There is fundraising dollars that are going to be a challenge. We understand that for the community, but we're going to need donations at the Restore too, to keep the Restore going and keep selling products so that we can continue to build affordable housing for Niagara.
For some of those families that benefited from previous builds, how were they able to handle the mortgages that they were still paying during the COVID-19 shutdown?
We hold the mortgages on the houses. So Habitat doesn't get government funding. They were very limited government funding. We get assistance from municipalities on land or sewer water hookups. One of the programs that we do is when we build a house, we build and pay for it, and then we hold the mortgage. The families still pay mortgages. So when it came to this crisis, the secret to the Habitat families are that they have affordable mortgages. So what we were able to do is defer a month of payment, and then we were able to adjust their mortgage payments to only 30% of their income. So if they were laid off from their position, we were able to defer that month, and then the next month we figured out what their new income level was. And we were able to adjust that to 30% of their mortgage payments. That being said, I got to tell you, the best part about this job was talking to the families who said, I couldn't imagine living where I lived with mold and rats and not being able to afford the rent payments, where in Habitat we had a safe, decent, affordable, and our families have the stress is just off of our families while we quarantine. Because many of our families are work in the hotel, the tourism industry, the restaurant industry. Most of our families work in industries that are currently shut down. So being able to adjust their mortgage has taken all the pressure off of them, and has taken is a way that they have a safe, affordable, decent place to live.
Thanks so much, Mark.